At the police academy, people arrive with different goals. Some want the uniform, some want respect, others come for family, and a few are inspired by movies. Among them are two young men, Billy Costigan and Colin Sullivan, each with a very different purpose. Billy wants to escape the shadow of his family, who were known criminals. For him, becoming a cop is a way to break free from that world. Colin, on the other hand, was raised under the wing of Frank Costello, a powerful Irish mob boss in South Boston. Since childhood, Costello groomed him to be his inside man. Colin may wear the badge, but he's a rat from the start. Both men graduate from the academy.
No more pencils, no more books.
Colin, with his sharp record and test scores, is quickly recruited into the elite Special Investigation Unit. There he meets Captain Queenan and his blunt deputy, Sergeant Dignam, who interview him briefly before moving on. Next comes Billy. His interview is different. Dignam brings up Billy's dead uncle, Jackie, and his long line of criminal relatives, questioning why he wants to be a cop at all.
Why are you pretending to be a cop?
Queenan listens, then steps in with another path. Instead of joining the force directly, Billy is offered undercover work. With his family background, he's the perfect candidate.
So what do I do?
To make it believable, Queenan and Dignam stage a case and have him serve a short time in prison before releasing him on probation. Word spreads quickly. Billy is now an ex-con and looks the part. Through his cousin's connections, he begins edging into the criminal underworld, posing as a small-time dealer. One night, while drinking cranberry juice at a bar, Billy sits quietly as his cousin vouches for him to Arnold, Costello's right-hand man.
I liked his uncle Jackie better. Jackie was all right.
When a man nearby mocks his drink,
Where do you get your period?
Billy snaps, smashing the glass into the man's face. The violent move catches Arnold's attention, and soon Billy is on Costello's radar.
Hey, Busafaki, Shucky's not boo!
Inside, Costello remembers Billy's family. He recalled Billy's grandfather was a treacherous enemy. Meanwhile, Colin is thriving in the Special Investigation Unit. Their main target is Costello, who recently stole advanced microprocessors meant for weapons and plans to sell them to China. In secret, Colin warns Costello that the police are closing in. Billy knows he must get closer to Costello soon. One morning, while eating breakfast at a small shop, he sees two Providence mobsters harassing the shopkeeper for money. Billy seizes the chance, beating both men down. The bold move not only puts him on Costello's radar, but also earns him trust within the Irish mob. Meanwhile, Colin begins a romance with Madeline, a psychotherapist who works with the SU. Over dinner, he charms her with easy talk, carefully drawing out details about her patients without ever seeming suspicious. Later that night, Billy drinks cranberry juice at the bar again. This time, Arnold arrives with Costello himself.
Do you know who I am?
No.
Billy is taken into a private room where Arnold inspects him closely.
Show me your arm. Flip it.
He's clean. Suspicious about the morning fight, Costello grabs Billy's injured hand and smashes it with a boot, pressing him to admit if he's a cop.
You still a cop?
No. After testing him enough, Costello finally laughs, hands him money for his hand, and lets him go. Still doubtful, he later talks with Arnold. Costello doesn't fully trust Billy, but Arnold insists he's genuine, pointing out that Billy is like him, a man with nothing to lose, no real family to tie him down. The next morning, police discover the bodies of the two mobsters Billy fought. Costello immediately covers his tracks, telling Colin to guide the investigation toward others. At the same time, Billy is slowly folded into the crew, unaware that Costello is on the phone with Colin. When Costello ends the call, he suddenly asks Billy what he can really do for him. Billy only nods nervously, hiding his fear. Moments later, he rushes into the restroom, rips off his police wire, and calls Queenan. He refuses to wear a wire again, knowing it could get him killed. Back at Sow, Colin is praised for his clever moves. He brings in his old academy friends Brown and Berrien and tells them there may be a mole inside their unit. We think Costello's got a rat in the state police.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
His standing rises quickly, and Madeline soon becomes his girlfriend. Billy, on the other hand, remains stuck in the dangerous grind. Working under Arnold, he collects money and enforces Costello's orders, often through violence. When Billy reports one of Costello's men, Fitzy, the police manage to bring him in, but without a warrant, they can't press charges. At that moment, Colin steps in off-camera, posing as a lawyer sent by Costello. He hands Fitzy a phone, urging him to make a call. Fitz dials Arnold, hinting that he's been caught. "Everybody out! Move!" The warning allows Costello's crew to erase evidence, while at the same time giving Colin's unit a trail to follow.
Run the last number he called. That's his house.
Colin plays both sides perfectly. Costello's people remain safe, while cops believe they're closing in. His reputation soars, making him a rising star in the department. Billy, however, grows more frustrated. For over a year, he hears nothing about the microprocessors, no solid leads to give Quinnen or Dignam. Tired of waiting, he confronts them directly, demanding to know why Costello hasn't been taken down despite countless murders. Quinnen reminds him to stay patient, insisting they need the right setup to finally trap a man as powerful as Costello. Just a little while longer, right? As part of his probation, Billy must attend therapy sessions. By chance, his assigned psychotherapist is Madeline, Colin's girlfriend. She has no idea Billy is an undercover cop and treats him like any other troubled client. He urges him to open up, but Billy can't risk it. He only demands a prescription to help with his anxiety and sleepless nights. When Madeline refuses, Billy storms out in anger. Yet moments later, she follows him outside, quietly handing him the prescription and telling him not to come back since she will transfer his case. Good. Okay. Later that night, Colin learns that the department is preparing a major sting. Costello is about to sell stolen microprocessors to the Chinese. The SIU team waits on standby for Billy's signal. But Colin, protecting his mentor, secretly warns Costello to move the deal where cameras can't reach. From a distance, Billy signals his order. The buyers are there, but the police see nothing and hesitate. By the time they move in, the trucks are empty. Please tell me those cars aren't empty. Did you put a camera in the back, you stupid? Costello and the buyers have already slipped away by boat. Once again, the police are left with nothing. Furious and afraid, Billy pressures Dignam to uncover the mole in Sao before Costello starts suspecting him. As the tension mounts, Billy finds a fragile comfort in meeting Madeline outside her office. Over coffee, their conversations grow personal. For Billy, she becomes the only person he can talk to, even if she doesn't know his true life. Later, while punishing a double-crossing dealer, Billy discovers something shocking. Costello is secretly an FBI informant. He has survived all these years by handing people over to the feds, ensuring his own protection. At the same time, Costello grows paranoid and demands Colin find a spy in his crew. Soon, the gang is summoned to a grim meeting in a garage. Arnold orders everyone to hand over personal information from names to bank accounts. Billy sits frozen, wondering if this is the moment he'll be exposed. Instead, he corrects a spelling mistake on Fitzy's form, then boldly tells Arnold he won't go through with it and walks out. That night, knowing his cover can't last much longer, Billy goes to Madeline's apartment. I have to say, your vulnerability is really freaking me out right now. For once, he lets his guard down, she doesn't turn him away, and they spend the night together. The next day, Costello confronts Billy for refusing to write down his information. Smell a rat? But Billy, worn down by years of suspicion, finally pushes back. He tells Costello to shoot him if he doesn't trust him, but he won't play these games anymore. Impressed by his nerve, Costello eases off and spares him. Billy finally breathes a little easier, though he knows it won't last. At the same time, Colin's rise continues. Now trusted to lead the hunt for the mole in Sao, he sees the perfect chance to protect himself and uncover the department's hidden spies. Later that night, he secretly meets Costello in a theater, unaware that Billy is shadowing him. Colin warns him to stay quiet until the traitor is caught. Though irritated, Costello agrees and hands him an envelope filled with crew records, the same documents Billy had refused to write, his spelling corrections still marked. Billy follows, curious about who took the envelope, but Colin, sharp as ever, senses he's being tailed and slips away unnoticed. The next day at the office, Colin quietly checks the envelope Costello gave him, but the papers reveal nothing useful. At the same time, Costello pushes Billy aside from his latest drug run, claiming he wants new men for the job. Confused and worried, Billy reports this to Quinnen, unaware that his cover is still safe. Costello, meanwhile, asks Colin if he's heard about any new recruits being undercover cops. Colin denies it, pretending he has contact with undercover sources. With that, Costello becomes convinced Billy is not the rat. It ain't Bill. To hide his own failure, Colin orders his detectives to shadow Quinnen, hoping the captain might eventually meet them all. His plan works. Quinnen secretly meets Billy on a rooftop. He went into a building down in the waterfront. 344 Wash. You got that? 344 Wash. Colin passes the address to Costello's crew, who rush toward the building. They call Billy, demanding he help kill the traitor, not realizing he is the one they're after. The address is 314 Washington Street. You got it? Billy manages to escape down the back stairs, but in the chaos, Costello's men throw Quinnen off the roof. His body lands right in front of Billy, who freezes in shock. Gunfire erupts as officers shoot without waiting for Colin's command, and both sides take casualties. Back at headquarters, the weight of Quinnen's death falls heavily. Dignam, enraged, punches Colin, and for his act of violence, he receives a 2-week suspension. Billy, meanwhile, is accused of being late to the ambush. One wounded man, barely holding on, whispers to Billy that he purposely gave him the wrong address. Yet Billy still arrived at the right place. Before Billy can silence him, the man dies of his injuries. Shaken, Billy seeks out Madeline. Though they meet, she refuses to see him again, confessing she has chosen her boyfriend.
I'm sorry.
Alone and desperate, Billy sits in silence until his phone rings. The call comes from Quinnen's number. Terrified, he answers, but hears only breathing on the other side. It's Colin, listening quietly. Billy hangs up in fear, then calls back, demanding to know who has the dead man's phone. Colin calmly introduces himself as Quinnen's replacement. Soon after, news spreads that the dying man who nearly exposed Billy was also an undercover officer. Costello believes the mole has been caught and lets his guard down. Colin, however, suspects Costello might be an FBI informant, so he decides to keep Billy's identity a secret. That night, Costello prepares for a massive drug deal, convinced the danger has passed. But Colin, still playing both sides, warns him that police cars are tailing. Furious, Costello orders him to use his position to stop them. Colin reluctantly does so, but claims to have a better plan. Moments later, Billy sends the exact location of the deal to the police. When the squad moves in, Billy warns Costello to flee, but the boss ignores him and continues loading the shipment. Billy slips away as the raid begins. A violent shootout follows, leaving Costello's crew cut down one by one, including Arnold. Costello himself barely survives and runs for cover only to come face to face with Colin. For the first time, the two men confront each other directly.
Colin demands to know if Costello has been working with the FBI, fearing his own career is at risk. Costello gives no answer. Instead, he reaches for his gun. Colin reacts first. A single shot ends it. Costello is dead. I got Costello here. At last, Billy and Colin finally meet face to face. The weight each has been carrying now hangs heavy between them. Billy presses Colin on how he plans to uncover the rat inside the unit. Colin calmly promises he will take care of it and asks for Billy's file password, claiming he needs to erase Billy's criminal record. It's my name. They gave it to me in case I had to explain myself to someone like you. Billy gives it, but once Colin walks away, the truth begins to surface. Instead of clearing the false record, Colin quietly deletes Billy's official police file. At the same time, Billy notices the same envelope Colin once carried and realizes the truth. Colin is the mole. Rattled, Billy rushes to Madeline, the only person he feels he can trust. He hands her an envelope, asking her to open it only if something happens to him. She still doesn't know who Billy really is. That night, Madeline tells Colin she is pregnant, and for a moment, they both share quiet happiness. But the joy doesn't last. The next morning, Madeline finds Billy's letter in the mail, a phone recording exposing Colin's secret. "We got a cop in my crew." "Yeah, I know. I'm kind of getting that feeling too. He's one of yours." At last, she sees clearly. The man she believed was good is nothing but a rat. Colin, now desperate, arranges to meet Billy. Billy makes it clear that Costello had trusted him most and that he has evidence tying Colin to the mob boss. He orders Colin to meet him at the rooftop where Quinnen once fell. When Colin arrives, Billy holds him at gunpoint and arrests him. Colin tries to twist the story, insisting he was never a rat and that he used Costello as an informant, but Billy doesn't buy it. Just then, Officer Brown arrives and aims his weapon, demanding Billy release Colin. Billy pleads, explaining Colin has been Costello's man all along. He forces Colin into the elevator while Brown hesitates. "Just kill me. I am killing you." But when the doors open at the bottom, tragedy strikes. Billy is shot dead by Officer Brown. Calmly, Baran tells Colin he too was Costello's mole since the academy. To erase all witnesses, he kills Brown as well. Colin stands there stunned until Baran removes the handcuffs. Then, in cold silence, Colin shoots Baran too. With 3 bodies around him, Colin walks away as the sole survivor. Later, he sets up the story, claiming Billy uncovered Baran as the mole and died in the crossfire. Billy's funeral is held with full honors. Madeline weeps, heartbroken. She now knows the truth too late. The man she doubted was a hero, and the man she loved was nothing more than a traitor. Though she carries Colin's child, she delivers Billy's file to Dignam. Not long after, Colin returns to his apartment, but waiting inside is Dignam. Without a word, he raises his gun and ends Colin's life. As his body falls, the camera lingers outside the window where a single rat scurries across the railing. And so this crime masterpiece closes with betrayal, justice, and silence.